Hey, welcome back to Chronicles of the Curvaceous. You know we fabulous and tenacious. We dropping faith-based weight loss motivation. Hey y'all, hey. It's Queen Fitness here. I'm back again for yet another video. Y'all know we are well on our way into this VEDO. It's VEDO day number 7. And for Chronicles of the Curvaceous, it's Saturday. Saturday for us is considered Salivation Saturday. And so on Salivation Saturday, what we used to do when my sister, y'all, I'm struggling with this whole thing. I just kind of like, it kind of dawned on me that I still say we. I guess my sister still, I have to just remember that she with me in spirit. And so I don't know if I'm going to be able to adjust that whole we thing. Probably never going to stop saying we, because I realized that it wasn't something that I did on my own. It's something that we did together. But let me just bless my food, because y'all know Chronicles of the Curvaceous is a faith-based channel, and I just firmly believe in acknowledging Christ. Amen. Lord, I thank you for this food I'm about to receive for the nourishment of our body. I pray that you bless it, and you bless the hands prepared and whatever they're standing in need of. These and many blessings I ask in Jesus' name. Amen. All right, so let's just jump right in this morning. I want y'all to just salivate a little bit with me. Just do a little breakfast. I typically have not been doing breakfast lately, y'all. Lately I have been just sipping on Joe. Y'all know how I am about coffee. I am a coffee lover. I just ain't been feeling the whole breakfast thing, and most of the time I'm like rushing after a morning workout and all that, trying to get ready for work and all, so I really don't have time to sit down and enjoy breakfast. But I just went to, I know y'all tired of me in the crystal scrambler thing, and for those of you who have been following the channel for a while, you know me in the kitchen just ain't really that close like that. We don't get along like that. So I don't do too much in the kitchen, so you ain't really gonna see. Now, don't get me wrong. I know how to cook. I'm not the type of person. It ain't that I'm ignorant in that area. And when I have to, I do. But I just have told y'all along the way that I'm not real. First and foremost, me and food just got this love-hate relationship, and I'm trying to develop this love for it. But I eat because I have to, not because I'm just driven to. But so yesterday, I was on my walk yesterday evening, and I had while I was on the walk, I listened to the video that I put up about emotional eating. And you know how YouTube do, when you watch about a topic, it will trigger you to watch other related topics. So it just suggested for me that I watch some doctor's video, and I cannot for the life of me think of what his name was, because I had never seen his channel before. And maybe I can go back into my archives and maybe put it in the comment section and let you guys know who the doctor was. He was talking about emotional eating, and he really gave me some major insight. And so I think I need to just go back and find out who he is, so I can watch more of his videos. And I'm sure it's in my because I like the video, it'll be in my my favorites list or whatever. So I'll be able to go back and watch it. So when I go back and find it, I'll let you guys know. But he was talking about emotional eating, and he was saying that we have taught ourselves wrong about emotional eating. And, everybody have these different theories, and I respect his opinion, because first and foremost, he's a medical profession and I'm not. And so you when you get the credentials behind your name, you tend to have trump over a layperson who just trying to find their way. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So he said that emotional eating is something that is ingrained in us. I was like, He said, when a baby cries, the first thing the mom does is give that baby, the baby learns a pattern of responding to their emotions by receiving a bottle. And he said when we eat, our bodies naturally release hormones that comfort us because we have been trained to respond that way. When we eat, we find that release through a meal. I mean, when we cry or when we happy or whatever, we find a release through a meal. And so then he said, we have a tendency, society has taught us that we're broken and that something is wrong with us because we emotionally eat. He said, but all humans do it. And then he said, the problem is your pattern needs to be changed. Which I can agree with that. I respect that because he said one of the tips they gave in this video that I was watching yesterday, he said for you to, y'all know I don't like, no camera either, but this was something my sister set up and I'm just going to flow with it. I mean, but he said for you to, what you do is before you go, when he said his suggestion was to put on a refrigerator a note to yourself on your refrigerator to ask yourself, what am I feeling and what do I need? I said, He said, because sometimes when you're feeling your emotion, if you really stop, like we were talking about on the last video, if we really stop and we analyze, hey, what am I feeling? What do I need? How can I not go into the same old pattern? Journaling your feelings, processing it, choosing to do things like doing the cardio and the mindful eating. All those things are ways to help you basically take control of that situation. Well, what he was saying was, he said when you put on the refrigerator, what am I feeling and what do I need? And then that give you that time, that moment to just grab awareness and think about, hey, am I really hungry? Or am I just going this route because I need a hug? Or he talked about being tired. And he said, a lot of times as humans, we try to get this superhuman concept and we try to make ourselves feel like, we could just robot, like we can just go forever. And instead of realizing, hey, maybe your problem is really some people when they get tired, they go to eating to try to get this. They go to eating carbs and eating all that stuff to try to get their energy level under control and try to muster through the rest of the day or whatever. So he was like, maybe you might just need a nap. Maybe I need a hug. Maybe, whatever it is you need to actually stop and feel. So he talked about trauma. And he said a lot of kids go through trauma and they don't know how to, because they're not mature enough to process how they feel. He talked about specifically sexual trauma. And he's talking about how a kid going through sexual abuse tend to, when they're having a traumatic experience like that, tend to go to overeating because something in them already knows or already has this feeling that if I get big, if I gain weight, this extra cushion will protect me from being sexually abused because I won't be desired because I'm heavier. And it happens like psychologically, and they just do that to try to kind of as basically a defense mechanism. And this video was very, very insightful. he talked a lot about stuff like I said, the being aware. And then he talked about how sometimes your child still be wanting to rebel against things and take control in certain areas. And that's why you tend to want to go and say, hey, I like, say, for instance, somewhere along the line, you were told that you were overweight and you have to diet. And then that inner child in you is rebelling against the fact that you were told that you need to diet. And he was like, so you just tend to want to say, well, I'm going to eat what I want to eat. I like ice cream, whatever. And then you want to just like kind of like be drawn to those things. And it's a form of rebellion that is not even like verbalized, but it's just something that your inner child is trying to do, to rebel against the rules and not want to actually be disciplined and be controlled by the process of eating healthy. But he also talked about so much on this thing about, learning new behaviors and being healthy. And one of the things that I really wanted to share with you guys that really kind of like made my eyebrows rise. He talked about being morbidly obese but being malnutrition. And I knew that it is possible. And I had read something along the line about, just because you're overweight doesn't mean that your body is nourished. Don't mean you got what you need. And so he was talking about how his client, he's a psychologist, and they work with different people on different health and wellness journeys and different stuff like that. So he said he had this client that came in, like her BMI was like 46 and she was extremely overweight, but she was so malnourished. And he was saying that our bodies has a way of asking for what it needs, but not really. I can't really explain it to you like the way he said it, but basically it's like when you have a poor diet, which a lot of us in America do because of the highly processed foods and things like that, and not having the nutrients that it needs to fuel us, and then these poor habits of eating, which I'm sitting here eating this drive-through food, eating this stuff that ain't really real food, and talking to y'all about it at the same time. Ain't that irony in itself? But he was saying how we eat a whole lot, but what we eat don't tend to have the nutrients that it's supposed to have. And so therefore our body is still saying, hey, I want more, because it's not getting the nutrients that it needs. And so he talked about a study, and he talked about how these two different groups of people, one group was given the nutrients dense food, and they was given them the freedom to eat all they wanted. And then the other group was given a just bunch of high processed foods, and they were able to eat all they wanted. And how the group that had high processed food ate way more than the group that had the nutrient dense food, simply because their body was still craving the need for the nutrients. And so because they were nutrient deficient, they ate more than what they would have eaten had they had the nutrients like the other group did. Their body was satisfied because they had the nutrients that they needed to fuel their body properly. And so for me, that was a really, really good, insightful video, because I told y'all this month, my goal has been to get more nutrients, make sure I eat these vegetables and try to do more of a balanced diet, so that I can get my body what it needs. I'm learning to respect food. I'm learning to be more intentional about what I consume, and I have been my energy level has been so much better over the last couple of months because I have been making sure that I be consistent with my workouts, and I have been being more balanced with the food I'm eating, and my lifestyle is shifting towards the lifestyle that I desire to have, and so I've been in a better place. But I don't know, y'all. He was last just saying that we tend to mess ourselves up because we abuse our own selves by putting all these restrictions on ourselves and beating ourselves up, instead of realizing that it's just approaching how you're doing it. I think you gotta give yourself grace, in which I'm learning to do that, because one of the guys the conversation was between two different doctors, and one had been a student and had been gone through a divorce, and he needed the assistance of the other doctor when he was healing from his trauma through his divorce. And he was just talking about, how much he said one of the things that he had to learn to do in his healing process was to write down the thoughts that he was having and the things that he was saying to himself in his mind. He was talking about how toxic those things were, and he had to learn to put himself think about the things that he was saying to himself as if he wouldn't say that to a friend. So he was like, you have to really process what it is you're saying in your mind to yourself. And he said, when I started writing it down and I started saying out loud, the bad things that I was saying to myself, then I started learning how to, I started reprogramming. Basically, he's just saying I started reprogramming my thoughts and started saying positive affirmations. And this is be paraphrasing what I got out of what he said, because I really can't give it to you verbatim. But basically, what I got out of what he was saying, hey, I realized, when he started writing down the negative things and the harsh things that he was saying to himself in his mind in that process of going through the divorce and all the things he was going through, he said he realized how damaging his own thoughts were to himself, and he had to learn how to be more reprogram his thoughts and start to use positive affirmations and words, edifying words to build himself up and to combat those thoughts. So basically, along the way, when it comes down to our own personal journeys, one of the biggest things that I really like about stuff like Chronicles of the Curvaceous is actually realizing that, hey, this journey, this healing, and this process is bigger than just what you put in your mouth. It's bigger than the physical activity that is required to heal and to grow. Along the way, it's going to take some actual emotional development. It's going to take some real life analysis of trauma and actually confronting past issues. A lot of times people don't even really realize that the outward appearance, the gaining of the weight, is evident of an inward struggle, something that is so much deeper than you going on the inside. And unfortunately, many of us are taught to bury our issues and not actually deal with them. So because you were taught the wrong way, and because you were not really ever given that freedom to really express how you feel, go through what it is you're going through, just deal with it. then you had to find other avenues of actually, protecting yourself. So, and this is just like, I guess the Chronicles is always been like a video diary. It's always been, it started out, that was the foundation of it. It was just really a way to chronicle your journey, to just really process your feelings. And so my sister, she was on to something so great, and I'm glad that I didn't ignore what she was doing, that I actually took the time to listen and took the time to get to understand what was happening and why. Because now I'm in a place now where I am, I don't have her to be my therapist, she wasn't necessarily a licensed therapist, but she helped me with a lot of my life issues, and she talked to me through some real things. So I don't have her to be there to just say, to just let me process my feelings, and let me have down and just be honest about where I'm at, and just to be supportive and process it. So now I'm taking a different approach, and utilizing this platform. And I'm also, taking you guys along with me, so that in the midst of it all, it is my prayer that something that I'm transparent and I'm willing to share with you guys, and how we get through this thing, be something that helps you along the way too. Maybe some insight that I gain on my own healing journey will be something that can be beneficial to you guys. Chronicles of the Curvaceous is all about faith, fitness, and fabulosity. And the faith component, God has to give you what you need. He'll give you what you need to be sustained in the midst of the journey. And he'll give you the courage, and he'll give you the hope, and he'll give you the strength, and he'll give you the wisdom keys that you need to be able to process the journey. So in the midst of it, I just thank him for, opening up doors, and for leading me to places, platforms, and other areas where I can get what I need to sustain me, to help me heal and help me process my feelings. And then, the faith component is always been a part of who I am. I loved outdoors. I love being active from a little girl. I've always just wanted to just run and just be out and try with the sports and all that kind of stuff. I just wanted just to be active. I was just an athletic type of person, even though I never actually I played sports, but not like, I wasn't ever a part of a team. I just played it like in the neighborhood, and a lot of the rules and a lot of stuff like that, I kind of skipped that part. I just wanted to have fun with it. So, and then this fabulosity thing, the struggle still real in that. I'm about to get ready to get off this camera, but I hope that me sharing that insight with you guys about realizing, first and foremost, you have to realize that emotional eating has been ingrained in all of us. So it's nothing wrong with you. That's just, if you really think about it, every time we eat, some type of emotion most of the time is involved. Like if you go to celebrate a party and all that stuff, food is around, there's an emotion there. If you're having a wedding, there's an emotion there, where there's joy. If you're sad and you're upset, there's an emotion there. All of those things are just natural. But it's a matter of you not just masking your feelings in food, but learning how to really he said trauma was unprocessed. So it's like you had a feeling, you had something you went through, and you did not process your emotion concerning that thing. And a lot of times when we feel like when our voice is silenced, when we're in controlling environments and people won't allow us to feel and allow us to acknowledge what's going on, then you have it in you and you don't get it out, and then you stuck in a place. So you have to process your emotions so that you don't have that trauma set in your body, and then you don't get trapped in a place. So you have to learn how to just acknowledge your feelings and let it out. Whether it's a feeling of joy, or whether it's a feeling of sadness, or whether it's a feeling of anger, whatever feeling you having, let it out and actually give yourself what you need. If you need a hug, then seek out that hug. If you need to cry. Crying is a healthy part of your healing process. It's a way of cleansing your soul. And a lot of times people feel like crying is a weakness and it ain't something that you should do and you shun it, but it's a way to let out something that deeply bothered you in some form of way. So it's a way to let it out. But so to just take that tip, put on your refrigerator before you get ready to eat. Put it on your refrigerator. And then ask yourself, what do I need? What do I need? What am I feeling? What do I need? Those are the two questions that he said put on the refrigerator. When you're getting ready to go to that refrigerator before you start, or your cabinet, whatever it is, your snacks, wherever you desire, wherever those emotional foods that you tend to run to, that you have written down in your emotional food log, your journal, those things that you tend to abuse. When you get ready to go for those things, stop, take that 5 minutes, ask yourself, what am I feeling and what do I need? And if it's at all possible for you to get what you need versus what you're craving at that time, then get what you need. Maybe and maybe you may not be able to get it. Maybe just releasing it on the journal, like I saw when I was going to Journey to Wholeness, one of the things they told us to do, write down how you feel, and if you're ashamed, you don't want nobody else to read it, you want just destroy it. You can burn it up, you can tear it up, and then get rid of the evidence that you wrote it down. But at the same time, give yourself the opportunity to get out whatever it was that was bothering you in that moment, so that you can actually process your feelings, so that you can strive to move forward in it. Sometimes, when it comes down to it, some relationships are toxic and they're not going to aid you on your journey. And sometimes it's necessary to sabotage. Sometimes it's necessary to move forward. Don't be loyal to a fault. Don't be loyal to a position where you're getting yourself abused. And don't be abusing yourself. And how realizing that there's nothing wrong with you because you feel emotions. It ain't even nothing wrong with you if you're eating because of your emotions. It's just you have to learn how to develop a different habit. You, somewhere along the line, develop the habit of protecting yourself or of retreating to eating in a moment when instead of actually navigating your way through your feelings and what's going on, and not eat, and instead of just ignoring it, and just now it's just time for you to develop new habits. Give yourself other alternatives so that you can find yourself in a better place, and give yourself grace. Be merciful to yourself. Don't beat your body up. He talked about how when people want to lose weight, they tell themselves, well, I'm going to be confident, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do all that when I lose the weight. And he's saying that that's abusive to you mentally and physically. Now you're saying to yourself that I'm not good enough, and that where I'm at, I don't deserve happiness and all that stuff until I get a certain size. And that's not healthy. It's like anything. He's like, the only thing that you can't do at heavier size is maybe it was like two things, but he said most of the stuff, even at your biggest weight, you can still do. You could be more confident, and you can be cute even if you're heavy. You just gotta find the right clothes that fit you. You can be you can love yourself right where you are, and in the midst of loving yourself where you are, then you'll find yourself getting to where you desire to be. Really, I think that you'll get there faster if you're not constantly beating yourself up and constantly along this journey. This is just not it's just that it's a journey, and you have to embrace and enjoy your journey. And that was one of the things that I thank God that having Chronicles of the Curvaceous and being with my sister has taught me how to embrace and enjoy my journey. When I first started my journey, like I told y'all, I was doing this thing because I felt like I had to. I was doing this thing because and it was like a punishment, and it was like a chore. Let me get this work. I gotta get this workout over with. No, now I look forward to my workouts. Now I'm excited about my journey, and I'm having fun along the way, and I'm trying new things, and connecting with new people, and it's healthier because I have took all these restrictions and all this control and all this harshness away from my journey. Now this is me watching myself develop and process my feelings and grow and do all those things along the way. So, y'all, I see the time is far spent, and since I've been on this camera, I haven't really did much eating, but y'all see what I got. I'm about to get off this camera because I got somewhere I gotta be this morning. So, y'all, this is VEDO Day number 7, Salivation Saturday. All about how to really realize that emotional eating, there's nothing wrong with you if you tend to be eating emotionally, because that's a natural thing. We get a hormone release when we eat, when we're in our emotions. We just have to learn how to process our feelings and channel them in a different way, and that's where our big adult self take over, instead of responding like a kid, pouting and saying, "Hey, I want candy, I want cookies, give me." We don't have to do that anymore. We can learn how to give ourselves other alternatives, healthy alternatives, and how to really take the time now that we're mature enough and we understand, hey, think about it. Think and be aware of your feelings. Be aware of why you're feeling this way, and acknowledge, okay, now let's see, what do I really need? Do I really need a cookie? Do I really need ice cream? Or do I need to take a nap? Or do I need a hug? Or do I need to journal to let this out? Do I need to go for a walk and clear my mind and actually get through whatever is going on in my heart? Maybe do I really need to consult a professional therapist? Maybe I need to talk to somebody so that they can really help me figure out how to navigate this journey. You don't have to go at it alone. God has given you all these resources, so many things available between, like I said, even just yesterday, while I was out walking, I watched a YouTube video. That was a big way of release for me. Sometimes I go on and I'm in different support groups online. So you go in there and you talk to other people, or you read and watch what they're doing, and that gives you some kind of comfort and some kind of reassurance on your journey. Having fellowship with other people that can understand, that can relate, and that can be supportive on your journey is a big benefit. And like this morning, I'm about to get ready to go to a women's conference, and that's going to be something else that's just have me an opportunity to just release, have fun, and get a chance to fellowship with other people. So it's just different ways to do it. It's just a learning process, and it will, remember, you didn't get where you are overnight, and you won't get where you desire to be at overnight. But if you seize your moment, maximize your moment in the kitchen, on the pavement, in your alone time with God, all of it, you will get there. in time, you'll get there. You can do all things through Christ. So, if it's the Lord's will, I'll see you tomorrow. But in the meantime, I want you to embrace and enjoy your journey. Goodbye for now.